Books.
Talk about
Adam Levine.
Adam Levine.
I don't know. No?
Oh man. Some weather.
Right?
Ugh.
Oh, it's really raining.
Hello. Welcome to Grapevine's AMA.
Could you hold this?
Yes, I can hold this. We're doing a new format of AMAs. We used to do Zoom calls.
Yes.
But now that it's post-COVID and we're trying out some different stuff. So you're joining us on our lunchtime walk to get a hot dog. It's pouring.
Yes.
It's Wednesday.
But it's really warm.
It's really warm, actually.
What's up with that?
I don't know. This is autumn, I guess, in Reykjavík. So yeah, we thought we would take you to come and get a hot dog. Is this the queue? No, surely not. Okay, no,
I think
over here. It's okay. And to enjoy some delightful autumnal Reykjavík weather with us. We're really lucky that this is just outside the office.
Yes.
So we come here a lot.
Yeah, you could even take your tea with you.
Yeah.
I love that. That's very homey.
Dedication to being British.
Now, yes, exactly. We want to change a little bit how we do the AMA. We have a lot of questions, and you have been very nice sending us, very different questions, I guess.
So we've gathered questions from our members, but also from YouTube comments. Lots of people ask questions on our newscasts and so on. So we've been gathering them all up, and we're gonna... Shall I start? Shall I ask you a question?
Yes, let's start.
Let's do it. In the rain. So, our first question, I really like this one. What would be included in a typical Icelander's favourite and regularly prepared home-cooked dinner or meal? This is from Bob Harding, one of our members.
Yeah, I saw this question earlier this morning, and I was asking Hilmar, our manager, what he does for
Does he cook?
Well, no, he says his wife is much better of a cook, but I always cook at my place, and it's an old agreement that I did with my girlfriend.
You're a good cook, actually.
Yeah, thank you. The most usual, the most usual thing we do actually is in my place, the thing that I used to eat when I was a child, and I often find myself doing now today, is spaghetti bolognese.
I love the Icelandic pronunciation. Yeah. Spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah, we call it just meat and spaghetti. We don't even call it hack or spaghetti.
Hack or spaghetti, yeah. That's like minced meat. Yeah.
It's a weird one, but I always buy like these prepared sauces. I never do like the Italian home cooking mother's spaghetti thing. And I always break also the spaghetti, but that's only for the children. They just it's not as messy somehow.
I've heard that's absolute sacrilege.
I know. I mean, I didn't really know, but there was a heated debate about this in Iceland a few years ago, where there was this chef. She did this, and she was literally cancelled.
Yeah. So she should be.
But also, other dishes that we do all the time is one of them is just hamburgers.
Yeah, Icelanders love hamburgers. It's such a big thing here. All restaurants, if you go to like a sort of typical restaurant in Iceland, it's going to have a lamb dish, a fish dish, and a hamburger. Like every single one.
And of course, hot dogs.
And hot dogs.
That's the other thing.
Yeah, they're so easy.
I know, but the thing is, I have actually, my kids hate this as well as my girlfriend. I do it a little bit differently. I buy the bread for them, but I don't eat them with the bread. I actually just cut them down and just pour all of the sauces over until it's just absolutely nasty.
It's so weird. I'm so glad that you're not eating it like that today.
Yeah, right.
What are you going to have, by the way?
I always have a hot dog with everything.
Yeah,
basically.
Me too. Yeah.
I mean,
and there's different people have come here and ordered hot dogs in different ways, and so you can have the same hot dog as Kim Kardashian had, or
we should ask for that. The Kim Kardashian hot dog.
No, I think there is. Who is there's like
Bill Clinton. He even came here. We're still actually living on that. What was that? 1997 or something.
Yeah, probably.
Or was that the Monica Lewinsky year? Yeah, probably before. But yeah, it's been a while. But yeah, hot dogs, hamburgers. I'm trying to think of other kind of standards. I mean... Yeah, on Sundays we eat the lamb, of course.
Every Sunday?
We used to do it, yes.
Yeah, that's quite traditional, I guess.
And then, of course, on Saturdays we used to eat salted, cod often.
Really?
Do salted fish. That was always on Saturdays, but that tradition is kind of dying with older generations.
I think mostly now people tend to eat, like they do in most countries, a kind of real mix. A lot of like pastas and rice dishes and stuff, but nothing particular.
Yeah, right.
Hi.
Hi.
You want to order?
You want me to go first?
Let's do it together.
Fæ ég eina pulsu með öllu og áttu eina hundapulsu eða... Yeah, you also want to...
Yes.
Yeah, 2 fyrir ég með öllu. Sorry, my sound will become weird.
Oh dear.
Hundapulsu og eitthvað fleira?
Nei takk. Right, I have it.
I was going to do it.
Okay. Right, let's just do it like this. It never goes anywhere.
Yeah, let's go sit down. One for Polly.
They always give me hot dog for Polly.
Tack för det.
Wait, I'll call you back in a little bit, okay?
You good?
Yeah, I just feel like we need these. God, everything is soaking. Where do you want to go?
Just here, right? We need a table, right?
Yeah, let's go do the standing one.
Okay.
Okay. That's okay.
You know, sorry.
Okay.
So, I'm just going to give Polly.
When we
good enough.
checked the weather forecast for filming this, it
Yes.
wasn't meant to rain. But how quickly things change. Okay,
So,
you going to do another question?
I can do another question. You have to do it like this, I guess.
My teeth getting wet.
Would the Grapevine consider doing a video featuring the Northern Lights? I think it would be awesome to see. This is Corinne Vasquez.
She's a real friend of the
Very good friend
friend
of
of the
ours.
show.
Well, what do you say?
Definitely.
Asked you to actually answer this, but yes, yes.
It's been something that you guys have been trying to do for a while.
We have tried this a few times, yes. This is more complicated than you think.
The thing is, of course, because it's unpredictable and it's
Yes.
at night, trying to get together and plan it and deliver it doesn't always work. But so the sun is on this 11-year cycle and of like solar activity. And it's kind of pretty close to the peak at the moment. So we've been seeing northern lights fairly early in the season. There were even some people who saw them in the summer during the day.
Right.
Like it's like crazy strong at the moment. So I'm really hopeful that we're going to manage to do it this winter.
And they are, as you say, like very unpredictable. And
So it's the weather.
I just see it on Facebook, like crazy Northern Lights outside. And when I look outside, of course, I mean, there is, like light pollution, a lot of that, especially in the city.
Definitely. But I feel like this is the year. We're going to try. Thanks for the suggestion, Corinne. And watch this space, I guess. Okay.
Perhaps we should not eat this while we're doing this.
No, this is the best. This is what the people want. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. We got these questions are from Mike.
Yes,
Also,
I love them.
you'll have seen Mike in our comments if you're a regular watcher of our videos. He's always jumping in with some like really relevant information about volcanoes. He knows loads and a lot more than us. So thank you for all of your comments, Mike. He says, clearly us asking questions live is far too dangerous. Sooner or later, one of us, probably me, will say something that would get us banned from the internet.
Well, Mike, yes,
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
And then he's asked, whatever happened to the Icelandic billionaires who bought so many businesses, especially in the UK, before the big crash? How are the likes of...
Like Jón Ásgeir and what?
Yeah, Jón Ásgeir...
Björgólfur.
Yeah,
Björgólfur
exactly.
Thor. Yeah. Right. Good question,
How
though.
are they regarded, and dare they even show their faces? Or are you a forgiving lot? You have to answer this one, because
Yes.
I'm not very qualified.
First of all, Forgiving, yeah, sure. We don't mind as long as they're not intruding our discussion somehow. They are not. You don't see any interviews with them anywhere. If anyone would put them on a front cover of a magazine or something, that would be a very combative situation for that magazine. They are. Let's just say it's like they're getting the silent treatment right now. It's like it's not all bad, but Icelanders are not very fond of this, and like we're still kind of pissed because of 2008. I mean, and naturally so. Although keep in mind, Björgúlfur Thor and Jón Ásgeir, they were never prosecuted for anything, but everybody knows that they were more or less the two forces behind all of this, with the Independence Party and the politicians and the banksters that basically just didn't have the talent to do this.
It's like, forgiven, no. I mean, well, maybe forgiven a bit, but forgotten, certainly not. Like, we're just kind of, people just kind of, they're giving them the cold shoulder, basically.
A little bit, yeah.
But, you know, like...
But for example, like, we have, of course, Björgúlfur Thor is sometimes in the news when he's hanging out with his friends, Guy Ritchie, the director, the British director, and some other guy, I don't know. These are basically the news we get, and we're not really that interested or invested. I would never invest.
I don't know. I suspect they'll pop back up at some point, like a bad smell. These people always do.
Yeah, I mean, they are always controversial. That's just kind of the field they are in, obviously. So, I don't know. How is Josie getting on with her Icelandic lessons?
Yeah, thanks for that, Mike.
Nasty question. Hvernig gengur þið?
Ég kann það bara smá íslensku. Mjög smá. I'm kind of at a point where I can follow quite a lot, and I've noticed it's making a difference in the office, because there was a day recently where Hilmar, our publisher, came in to speak to you and was talking about something that I was going to do in Icelandic to you, and I interrupted you both and just said in English, because I can't express what I can hear in Icelandic, and I just said, I'm going to do it, guys, just like, you know. And you both looked at me like, you're not meant to understand when we're talking about you.
It's actually, it's nice to have a secret language that nobody else understands, but she's onto it.
I'm onto
us. Yeah.
I probably won't even tell you when I can speak it. I'm just going to keep it quiet.
Yeah, right. That's actually a very good strategy.
Okay.
So, if a visitor to the Reykjavík area wanted to go someplace for 5-kilometer nature walk with only a small number of other people around, where would you suggest? This is Alan Valgami.
Your guess is as good as mine, mate.
Valgami. Alan Valgami.
Okay, what do you think? I have my own opinions.
My opinion is, like, a simple one would be perhaps, like, if you want to go for climbing a mountain, for example. Climbing a mountain in Iceland is a little bit like just regular hiking. Like, you don't need to climb literally with a belt and everything. Then you have a ton of options. You can go up to Esja, which is like a 3-hour hike up and down.
Is it 5 kilometers out of the city or 5-kilometer walk? What's he saying?
Yeah, sorry. I thought it was 5 kilometers nature walk. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know how. I've not been up Esja.
Like Esja is like 2 kilometers all in all. It's like 800 meters up, 800 meters down, and then you have to drive 5 kilometers.
Absolutely.
But then you have the pretty nice area called Hengill, and it's written like Hengi and double L.
We'll put it in the description.
Anyways, it's fairly close by. It's where our power plant is, on your way to Hveragerði or Selfoss in the south. It's there between, and it's a very nice area. There's a thermal area also there, and if you want to, you can actually go into a hot pot there, like hot pool. But it's quite nasty, and it's not for everyone. But the area is very beautiful. You can hike up to the mountains and back, or you can just hike straight to the thermal area, and it's really nice. It's really nice, yeah.
I would say if you want to stay closer to Reykjavík, Heiðmörk is an obvious choice.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's a big forested area. And again, Icelandic forest. But this is actually kind of legit forest. It's really pretty, especially this time of year. There's loads of like, well, it's where we went to go berry picking if you watched our berryamo.
Right.
Berryamo, see? Icelandic, learning. Okay, okay, this is one that, again, for you, Valor. This is from Dwight A. Ernest. He emailed in. I wonder if you might take a few minutes to discuss the reminder from the eminent Artni Björnsson that Iceland's settlers were not Vikings. We'd love to hear your views on this.
Yes. It's a really complicated answer, but at the same time, really simple. First of all, I think everybody that knows history a little bit about their own home country know that like most of their national identity was shaped more or less between 800 and like 1900 and something, like early 1900. This was the same in Iceland.
You can't go follow that person.
We had a very harsh, like not harsh, very like oppressive, almost like national, like romantic nationalism.
Yeah.
And this is like, if you listen to Wagner in Germany, these are the same guys that were like tapping onto these old stuff.
Yeah.
So at this time, we shaped the idea about Vikings and heroes and so on, and it's closely connected to that. Icelanders want to be conceived as heroes, but not as like a slave nation, because we were under the monarchy of Denmark at the time. So, Vikings. We said we were not farmers or like losers. We were strong Vikings. Up to a point, this is correct. But when we're talking about like our ancient history in Iceland, we talk about the settlement. So Artni is that on right. It's like we are not like Viking. Just means it's just a word that means traveling. And those that travel, they traveled like. Of course, they went to Ireland and England and just to rape a village and so on. Let's not hide that. And they were definitely Vikings in that sense. But not all of them were. Most of us were just farmers and so on. But keep in mind, farmers also did this.
Yeah.
This was all very common for a time. Like in the golden age of Iceland, this is between 930 and 1200. So,
you peaked early.
Sorry?
You peaked early, eh?
Yeah, we peaked a little bit. It was kind of downhill for the next 500-600 years, and then we got our weapons back. And yeah, it's like, also like what Artni is always, if you really want to make Artni angry about anything, then you put like a horn on the Viking helmet. The horny Viking helmet is utter bullshit, rubbish if you will, and doesn't make sense. Nobody was like that in the Viking era. Although, I mean, there might be some occasions, but not really. Vikings were just, we were just pagans and...
it's fake lore. It's fake lore. Everybody did it. Scottish people did it. We loved it. Kilts,
yeah, right.
Kilts don't exist. They're made up.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
I mean, for example, the national costume in Iceland is like it's barely 200 years old.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
It's totally. It's all invented. All culture is invented.
Right.
This is a question that was on our recent newscast, the one that we did from the east about we were in Sturlago. I can't. Sturlago.
Yeah, it's like with the air.
Yeah.
Cram it in there. Cram it.
Russ Smith asked, why is the river the colour that it is? This is something we might do a little bit more on this at some point. Oh, that's good. We're going to post some more stuff from the east at some point. But basically, that whole canyon, a lot of it was under a very deep river until relatively recently, like the 80s or something.
Yeah.
And then they built this huge, what's it called? Reservoir.
Yeah, right.
And that cut the flow of the river a lot, which changed a lot of that landscape. And the river basically comes straight off the glacier, and it's glacier water, which is why it's got this kind of cloudy, kind of opaque blue colour. The
glacier rivers feels like clearish, but they are not really.
No, they've actually got quite a lot of silt in them.
Yeah. And also this dam is called Kárahnjúkar, and it's on the like highlands in the east of Iceland, and was incredibly both destructive and incredibly controversial at the time. And it changed a lot. It also changed things in Egilsstaðir or close to Egilsstaðir. There is a very famous lake there called the Lagarfljót, and that even is completely different today than before. Most Icelanders consider this as a huge mistake when it comes to environmental issues.
Yeah, it was a really controversial period of Iceland's history, and then every time that debate gets reopened about more hydro power plants and stuff, it's very controversial here. Do you want to ask a question?
Yes. Did Iceland have any connection to the Queen?
There's no escape.
Well, yes, we had. I guess Iceland is not one of these places that was colonized. Yes, we were. This may sound like a stupid question, but I was just asking the questions to know how far-reaching was the Queen's power. Al Murray.
Stupid questions.
Far from being stupid.
Yeah, no, it's a really good question.
First of all, did Iceland have any connections to the Queen? Yes, we had.
Queen of Scotland.
Well, you're of course the Queen of Scotland.
Yeah.
Scotland is, I guess, not as devastated about this as many other colonizers.
Well, it's complicated. It's complicated in Scotland, it's complicated elsewhere, and, you know, a nice old lady has died, and that's kind of sad.
Yeah, right.
But, yes, Iceland was colonized, but not by England.
No.
Although...
We were invaded by England in the 40s, but it was a very polite invasion, and we are, in the end, more like thankful for it than not. But what matters here is that the Danish, of course, we were a Danish colony for a few hundred years, and it's complicated. It's a long history. We like the Danes, but we are not very grateful for anything for them, and it's complicated.
Yeah. Was there much of a reaction in Iceland when the Queen died?
Well, there was a little bit, but Icelanders are not that keen on the monarchy at all. We just don't like monarchy in general.
You're kind of like secretly kind of romantic about certain things, but not very sentimental. So when people die, you're kind of like, too bad.
Like, she was 96.
She was 96. Good life. Good innings.
So,
last question.
Is it true that gold was found in the lava of the recent Icelandic volcanic eruption near Reykjavík? A theory about it was that the lava went over a buried hoard of gold, and it somehow was wicked upwards and into lava that cooled and was seen by hikers. Or was that the YouTube that presented this information fake clickbait? Robert Higby.
Higby.
Higby. Yeah, Higby.
Yeah,
right.
That's a good name. I like that. Have you heard about this?
I heard about gold, yes. I can tell you a little bit about gold in Iceland. We have it, but it's so little that it's not really worth mining. There were some ideas to do this in Mosfellsbær of all places.
Mosfellsbær?
Yeah, right.
Is that why they have ideas about their station?
Yeah, I don't know why, but that was the idea. But when it comes to gold, it is around, but it's not in any volume that you would say is significant.
Not in the volcano.
Definitely not in the volcano.
I think that was, as you say, it sounds like clickbait, Robert. Sorry about that, but
it might be there was some gold found, but it would never have been any.
I certainly don't.
Anything that matters.
Yeah, nothing significant. But who knows?
Yeah. Also, the combination of just land in Iceland is like it's a young island, so we don't have a lot of these minerals that you will find in like older parts of the world, perhaps.
We have lots of ones that are very specific to the fact that it is young and it's volcanic. We just visited in the east this amazing rock collection. Yeah. This older woman, Petra.
Yes.
We'll put a link to the where you can find out about it. But she used to collect rocks all over Iceland, find some really amazing things. But yeah, it's kind of still limited to certain characteristics.
It's definitely one of the most fun like museums you will find on the way, because
so cute.
She did this herself for like decades, and in the end the town decided to make this a museum, and now it's one of the biggest attractions for the town.
Yeah,
it's really something.
I mean, the town, there's like 4 houses there, but it's Iceland.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get this wet dog inside.
Yes.
That's it for this first new format, AMA. Yes. Thanks for joining us. We're going to do these fairly regularly, not every month, but we'll be doing them as often as we can. And we want to do lots of different fun ideas. So please comment below with other places you'd like us to go, different sorts of questions you'd like us to answer. Email in your questions. We might do one where we eat like gross Icelandic snacks, or maybe snacks from your country. Maybe you give us some suggestions. So be in touch. We want this to be about connecting with you guys. But that's it for now. Let's go get dry.
Yes.
All right. See you later.
Jæja, Polly.
She's like, that was no walk.
Yeah. She does not like this.
No. Oh, wet dog.
Yes. We are not going to throw today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, gold in the volcano.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Didn't hear anything about that. Good story, though.